So good morning, sir, and good morning, everyone. So I am the first reporter of this group. So our topic is all about Rizal travels and life. Dr. Jose P. Rizal was considered as the most traveled Filipino hero. He traveled to almost 20 countries and about 40 island cities. So the following events that took place during Rizal travels and life are arranged in their chronological order. Rizal departure for Spain. So Rizal parents, Leonor and the Spanish authorities knew nothing of his decisions to go abroad. Only his older brother Panciano, Uncle Antonio Rivero, Sister Nining and Lucia, the Valenzuela family, and their daughter Urang, Pedro E. Paterno, his compadre Evangelista, the Ateneo Jesus Priest, and some intimate friends knew of his secret departure. So, ang parents ni Rizal, hindi nila alam na may balak na pumunta ng abroad si Rizal. Pati na rin ang kasintahan ni Rizal, hindi rin alam. Pati na rin ang autoridad ng Espanya. So, ang nakakaalam lang na pupunta si Rizal ng abroad ay sina Panciano, ang kapatid niya na si Panciano, si Antonio Rivero, si Sister Nining and Lucia, the Valenzuela family, and their daughter Urang, Pedro E. Paterno, his compadre Evangelista, the Ateneo Jesus, and some intimate friends knew of his secret departure. So, before Rizal's secret departure, he wrote a farewell letter to his parents and sweetheart Leonor Rivera, which was delivered to these after he sailed away. So, bago pa man makaalis or makasakay ng barko si Rizal, is nagsulat muna siya ng farewell letter para sa kanyang mga magulang at sa kanyang kasintahan na si Leonor Rivera. May 3, 1882, on board the Spanish steamer, Salvador Rizal departed for Spain using Mercado. On his travel document, his main reason in leaving the Philippines was to transfer the Universidad Central de Madrid in Spain to finish his medicine course. On board the Spanish steamer were 16 passengers, including Rizal. He was the only Filipino. The rest were Spaniard, British, and Indian Negros. May 8, 1882, on his way to Spain, he had a two-day stopover in Singapore, an English colony. So, bago pa man makapunta ng Spain si Rizal, is nag-stop muna siya sa Singapore ng 2 araw. So, he reached the island considered by him as the Talim Island with the Susong Dalaga. On May 8, 1882, the following day, May 9, Rizal registered at Hotel de la Paz and spent 2 days sightseeing sorties of the city. So he saw the Botanical Garden, the famous Buddhist temple, and the founder of Singapore, Sir Thomas Stanford Raffles. May 11, 1882, he was on board the steamer Gienah. So when we say steamer, is yung barko or ship na sinakyan niya. So a French steamer, much larger and cleaner than Salvadora. So yung sinakyan niya daw na barko is mas malinis daw kaysa sa Salvadora, or yung sinakyan niya ng isang barko. So on board, the vessel were British, Dutch, Spaniard, Malay, Siamese, and Filipino like Mr. and Mrs. Salazar, Vicente Pardo, and Rizal himself. So, French was mostly spoken on board because it was a French vessel. May 17, 1882, he arrived at Point Gal, a seacoast town in southern Ceylon. So, the town is pictures, lovely, quiet, and sad at the same time according to Rizal. May 18, 1882, he had a stopover at Colombo, the capital of Ceylon. According to Rizal, Colombo is more beautiful, smart, and elegant than Singapore, Point Gal, and Manila. So, ang Ceylon daw is ang Colombo daw mas maganda or mas malinis kaysa sa Singapore at saka sa Point Gal and Manila. May 28, 1882, from Colombo, Ceylon, the Diama continued voyage and crossed the Indian Ocean until he reached Cape of Guardafin, Africa. Rizal called Africa as inhospitable land but famous. So then he reached Aden. Here we went ashore for sightseeing. He found the city hotter than Manila. For the first time, he saw the camel. June 11, 1882, from Fort said the steamer proceeded to Europe and reached Naples City, Italy. Rizal was fascinated by Mount Vesuvius, the castle of St. Telmo, and the historic site of the city. The city was busy because of its business, lively people, and panoramic beauty. June 12, 1882, the steamer docked at the French harbor of Marseilles. So ang barko daw na sinakyan ni Rizal is nakadaong daw sa French harbor of Marseilles. So Rizal disembarked to visit the famous Chateau Thief where Dantes, the hero of the Count of Monte Cristo, was jailed. He stayed at Marseilles for 2.5 days at Hotel Nuales for 3 days. On 15, 1883, the steamer left Marseilles by train on its last trip to Spain. So, ang barko daw ay, si Rizal daw is umalis sa Marseilles sakay ng tren papuntang Spain. The steamer reached Pyrenees and stopped for a day at Port Vaux. In the place, Rizal saw the difference according to tourists in comparison to the courtesy according by the French immigration officers. 16, 1882, from Fort Vaux, Rizal continued his trip to the last lap by train for Spain and finally reaching his destination to Barcelona, Spain. So, galing sa daungan is nag-continue si Rizal sumakay ng tren papunta sa kanyang destinasyon na kung saan is sa Barcelona, Spain. So Rizal stayed in Hotel de España and its sumptuous street with Tomas Cabangis and boarded a house in San Severo Street. So he visited Ronda de la Universidad de Barcelona and the San Pablo Hospital in the University of Barcelona. So, binisita niya daw yung Ronda de Universidad at de Barcelona and the Pablo Hospital in the Barcelona. So, ugly, dirty, little inns, inhospitable people. So, yung hospital ni doon daw is napakadumi, tsaka wala daw walang respeto yung mga tao, at saka because he happened to stay upon his arrival is a stingy inn. Later he changed his mind and came to like the city as a great city with an atmosphere of freedom and liberalism, and people were open-hearted, hospitable, and courageous. He enjoyed promenading along Las Rambles, the famous Barcelona street.
I am Esmera Ignacio Ramon, the second reporter, and I will be discussing the Rizal's life in Barcelona and in Madrid. Rizal's life in Barcelona. Rizal was welcomed by the Filipinos in Barcelona, some of whom were his classmates in Ateneo. They gave him a party at their favorite cafe, Plaza de Catalina. They exchanged toasts and they told Rizal of the attractions and customs of the people in Barcelona. So, nung nasa Barcelona si Rizal is ni-welcome siya ng mga kababayan niya, and yung iba naman is dating mga kaklase niya nung nag-aaral pa siya sa Ateneo. So, yung welcome party na yon is ginanap sa isang cafe na tinatawag nilang Plaza de Catalina. Then, doon, nagkukwentuhan sila tungkol sa mga attractions at customs ng mga tao sa Barcelona. So, si Rizal naman is ang ikinukwento niya yung mga tungkol sa pangyayari dito sa Pilipinas. While Rizal was in Barcelona, he receives two bad news. The first one is about the cholera outbreak that ravaged Manila and the provinces. The second one is the chatty letter of Chengoy recounting the unhappiness of Leonor Rivera, who was getting thinner due to the absence of loved ones. November 3, 1882. On the advice of Pasiano to Rizal to finish the medical course in Madrid, Rizal left Barcelona in the fall of 1882 and went to Madrid. And then, he enrolled in the Universidad Central de Madrid in medicine, philosophy, and letters. Rizal's life in Madrid. Rizal was rigidly budgeting his money wisely. Although he used to buy tickets in every draw to the Madrid lottery, he never wasted his money for gambling, wine, and women. So Rizal spent his leisure time by reading books such as military engineering to broaden his cultural background. As a lover of books, he purchased books from a second-hand bookstore owned by a certain Roses. In fact, he was able to build a fair-sized private library in his boarding house. And then, nung nasa Madrid siya is minsan dumadayo rin siya sa bahay ng mga kaibigang Filipino na Paterno Brothers at nakikipagkaibigan sa ibang estudyante sa Cafe de la Ventes. And then, tuwing Sabado ng gabi is bumibisita siya sa bahay ni Don Pablo Ortega y Rey na father ni Consuelo, na dating alkalde ng Maynila noong panahon ni Gobernador General Carlos de la Torre.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Ruhinar Tumaray. May 11, 1887, Rizal and Viola left Berlin for this train. They visited Dr. Adolf B. Meyer. And the Museum of Arts, Rizal was deeply impressed by a painting. They met Dr. Chugor. Dr. Chugor suggested that Moose send a wire to Blumentritt. Si Rizal at Viola ay umalis sa Berlin patungong Dresden para ito ay bisitahin nila si Dr. Adolf B. Meyer sa musyo ng sining. Labis na humanga si Rizal sa isang tagpipinta na kilala nila si Dr. Chugor. Iminungkahi ni Dr. Chugor na dapat magpadala ng wire sa Blumentritt. Noong May 13, 1887, Rizal and Viola on board a train said, "Let me read." Blumentritt helped Rizal and Viola get and were also invited to a meeting at the Theorist Club, at late marriage of which Blumentritt was the secretary. Sina Rizal daw at Viola ay sumakay sila ng train at nakarating sa late marriage. Tinulungan ni Blumentritt si Rizal at Viola na makakuha at inibintahan din sila sa isang pulong sa Theorist Club sa Leitmeritz, kung saan si Blumentritt ay sekretarya. Pagkalipas ng ilang taong noong May 17, 1887, Rizal and Viola left Leitmeritz by train on their way to the city of Prague. Umalis sina Rizal at Viola sa Leitmeritz tapos sumakay ng tren patungo sa lungsod ng Prague. May 19, 1887, Rizal and Viola went to Bronx City but nothing of important happened during their visit. Nung napunta sina Rizal at Viola sa lungsod ng Rome, walang mahalagang nangyari sa kanilang pagbisita. May 20, 1887, Rizal and Viola arrived in the city of Vienna, capital of Austria. They visited famous, interesting scenic places like churches, museums, arts galleries, theater, public parks, beautiful buildings, religious images. Dumating sina Rizal at Viola sa lungsod ng Vienna o sa kabisera ng Austria. Binisitan nila ang mga sikat na magagandang lugar tulad ng mga simbahan, museum, arts gallery, publikong parke, magagandang gusali, mga relihiyosong imahe. May 24, 1887, Rizal and Viola left Vienna of arrived both to see the beautiful sight of the Danube River. Umalis sina Rizal at Viola sa kabisera. Sumakay sila ng bangkang ilog upang makita ang magagandang ilog ng Danube. June 2 to 3, 1887, Rizal and Viola their trip on boat and received Basil Bern Laurin. Noong tagsakay ni Rizal at Viola sa isang bangka ay nakarating din sila sa Basil Bern Laurin. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, especially sir. My name is Marvin Lagitaw. I will discuss on June 6, 1887, Rizal and Viola reached Geneva, Switzerland, and Lag Air to Rue of Rhine. Geneva is the one of the most beautiful cities of Europe. So, 1887 daw ay nakarating sina Rizal at Viola sa Geneva, Switzerland at nanirahan sa Bel-Air no Rue de Rhine. Ang Geneva ay isa sa pinaka magandang lungsod sa Europa. Ang mga taga Genova ay nagsasalita sila sa 3 wika. So, ito yung wika nila is French, German, and Italian. At Italiano. Nakiusap sina Rizal na mga wikang ito, sina Rizal at Viola ay namamangha sa lawa. Nagkaroon din sila ng beach excursion kung saan ipinakita ni Rizal ang kanyang husay sa pagkaroon ng matamo niya noong kanyang kabataan sa Calamba. Habang nasa Geneva, nagtanggap si Rizal ng malungkot na balita mula sa kanyang mga kaibigan sa Madrid tungkol sa kalunos-lunos na kalagayahan ng mga igorot ng Hilagang Luzon na ipinakita sa 1887 Madrid Exposition na ilan sa kanila ang namatay. Ang kanilang kakarampot na kananamit na magaspang na sandata at pinagtawanan at panunuya ng mga Kastila. June 1987, it was Rizal's 26th birthday. He treated to Viola to a blowout with a sumptuous meal. And June 23, 1887, Rizal and Viola part ways. The boat spent 15 delightful days in Geneva, and Viola returned to Barcelona while Rizal continued his tour to Italy. June 24, 1887, from Geneva, Rizal went to Italy and visited Turin, Milan, Venice, and Florence. Noong Hunyo 1987, ito ang ika-26 na kaarawan ni Rizal na itinatrato niya si Viola sa isang blowout na may masaganang pagkain sa araw na ito. Isinulat ni Rizal kay Biometric tungkol sa isang eksibisyong pang-industriya. At ng Hulyo 23, 1887, naghiwalay sina Rizal at Viola. Pero silang sumugol ng 15 kasiyahang araw na Geneva. Si Viola ay bumalik sa Barcelona habang si Rizal naman ay nagpatuloy sa kanyang paglalakbay sa Italia. Noong Hulyo 24, 1887, mula sa Geneva, nagtungo si Rizal sa Italia at binisita ang Turin, Milan, Venice, and Florence. And June 27, 1887, Rizal and reached Rome.
So good day everyone, my name is Raylene Nusa. So my topic is all about Rizal return home from abroad. After 5 years of sojourn in Europe, he decided to return home into the Philippines. Pasiano, Silvestre Upaldo, his brother-in-law, Chingoy, or mas kilala natin bilang Jose M. Cecilio, and the other friends warned him not to return home because of the publication of his No Limit Tangere, which caused uproar and anger among the friars in the Philippines. So, si Rizal hindi rin naniwala sa mga warning ng mga friends niya. Kasi masyado siyang determinadong umuwi ng Pilipinas para sa mga following reason. Una is yung to operate on his mother's eye. Second is to serve the Filipino people who were oppressed by the Spanish tyrants. The third is determine how his knowledge and other writings affected to the Filipinos and Spaniard. And the fourth is to inquire on the condition of Leonor Rivera. So, July 3, 1887, Rizal left Rome by train for Marseilles, a French port, and boarded the Gemna, a Manila-bound steamer. On his steamer were 50 passengers, 4 Englishmen, 2 German, 3 Chinese, and 2 Japanese, and 1 Filipino. Yun ay si Rizal. And many Frenchmen. Rizal was the only passenger who could speak many language. So, si Rizal daw yung nag-iisang pasahero na mas maraming alam na lengguwahe.